5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All systems go with Josh Appelbaum starts now.
Hello and welcome to episode 479 of the All Systems Go Sports Betting Podcast, powered by Rhythm. I am your host, Josh Appelbaum. What's going on, everyone? Happy Friday. Our work week has come to an end, but we got a lot to discuss on the final day of the week here as we steam into a big weekend because we got, once again, college hoops to talk about. We had our first 4-pack of Sweet 16 games last night. We got another 4-pack here for tonight. I have 3 plays for you. I could have had 4. Didn't want to push one that I kind of had a lean on, but it didn't quite meet the line movement, bet split, rhythm, juice reel criteria that we look for. So as always, with an odd number of games, 3 overall, we're going to try to go 2-1, eke out a winning night, hopefully finish off the week on a hot note as we steam into the weekend. And then I was looking at the board. Did you guys know? Tomorrow, big Saturday, we got Iowa, Illinois, Purdue, Arizona. So we got some Elite 8 coming up here this weekend. And then obviously we'll find out the other 2 Elite 8 games after tonight. But just want to remind everyone there's no podcast on the weekends. Now that I'm a dad, I have all these responsibilities. But hey, they're good responsibilities. I'm loving it here. My daughter turns 6 days old today. So we're starting to get a little bit more sleep each night. She's starting to have a little bit more of a personality. And we were able to cash Red Sox watching the Sox together. So in the Margot Appelbaum era, we named her Margot if you didn't know, which, again, we kind of deciding on a name was very hard because, you know, my wife Elise would like a name and then I wouldn't really like it. And then I would love something and she wouldn't like it. And then we've always been fans of Margot Robbie, but we were watching TV one night and there was a commercial for, I think it was Wuthering Heights with Jacob Elordi and Margot Robbie. And we're like, oh, Margot, that sounds pretty good. And we both liked it. So we named her Margot. But anyway, cashing a ticket with my daughter in my arms as the Red Sox are undefeated since my daughter was born. Again, 1-0, but still pretty awesome. But just wanted to mention that, you know, we're going to be getting into baseball here a ton. So I know a lot of people are asking about MLB plays, off to a good start, 2-0 with the Yankees and the Red Sox so far if you've been listening to the pod or following the best bets on Juice Reel. But just don't worry. I want to really kind of embrace college hoops because we're almost done with college basketball. And just, you know, don't worry. We have so much baseball to talk about all, you know, spring and summer and into the fall before, obviously, football gets back. But if you're scratching, looking for MLB plays, just know that they're coming, and every day we'll have 3 MLB plays, basically, as long as they match some systems that we're looking for. So all my seam heads out there, stay tuned. We're very close to 3 MLB plays every single day. But that being said, 3-pack today, guys. I got, let's see, a favorite and 2 dogs. We're going to see if a couple can bark for us or cash for us. And hopefully finish off the week on a winning note. But with that being said, no pot on the weekends. You can always read the sharp reports, vsin.com, that I write, as well as following the best bet picks on the Juice Reel app, which you can get for $4.99 a week. That is, again, basically a $5 bill, not $499 like some picks packages out there, Vegas Dave and the whole crew, but $4.99. So I consider it a tip jar. If you enjoy the pod, this pod is free, and you can always sign up to get those ASG best bet picks from Juice Reel. So that being said, 3-pack today, all college hoops, trying to go 2-1, eke out a winning day. And we were able to eke out a winning day yesterday. So 3-2 plus 0.38 units. Might have been even better if you're able to take advantage of some of these odd boosts that we are now being offered at various sports books. Because again, MLB is back, so they're going to try to entice you to bet MLB. So take advantage of an odds boost or college basketball. They want you to bet Sweet 16 at that sportsbook, so you might have a boost there available as well. Whenever you log in, you can go to promos or whatever click that tab is and see what's available to you, but it might have been a little bit more than 0.38 units, but had a great hit with the Red Sox, as I mentioned. It wasn't just a, you know, ride the Sox, even though I did text my group chat. I said, there's no way the Red Sox lose when I'm watching my first Red Sox game with my newborn daughter. There's no way. Put the house on it. Just kidding. You know, you don't want to do that. But my friends did for her, and they cashed, so that was nice. And I tell you what, guys, holding my daughter in her Red Sox onesie as we're sweating the Red Sox, it wasn't easy because Crochet and Abbott were going back and forth. Red Sox kept leaving guys on base, but they finally broke through in the 8th and 9th inning. So a nice little 3-0 win in Margot Appelbaum's debut. And then in college hoops, split them 2-2. So had some great hits there with Illinois. Illinois was awesome because it just didn't make too much sense that, Houston had the higher seed. Houston was pretty much at home. It was a very short number. But remember, majority was on Houston, but at one point Houston was minus 3.5, got down to 2.5. And if you look at the juice late, it was all on the Illinois side, plus 2.5, minus 115. So Illinois with a good, sharp edge there from both rhythm and juice reel came through for the team to punch their ticket to the Elite Eight. Also had a fantastic hit with Iowa. Iowa feels like a team of destiny, guys. That was my favorite play overall because it was just an absolute blueprint sharp contrarian play. Everybody and their mother on Nebraska, but Nebraska opened minus 3. Line got down to 1.5. Why did the line go to Iowa if everyone's playing Nebraska? So Iowa, again, they were kind of down the whole game and turned it on late. Again, cashed in another ticket as a dog, winning outright. So Iowa came through for the team. And then the losers were Arkansas and Purdue. And they're kind of frustrating because Purdue only won by 2, so obviously didn't cover the 7.5. But did you guys notice where Purdue closed? They closed minus 8.5. So we talked about Purdue minus 7.5 on the pod as a bit of a fade the trendy dog play. We got a 7.5. They closed minus 8.5. So we did our part, beat the closing line, got a good number. They just, again, only won by 2. We needed them to win by 8. But if you're beating closing lines by a full point, that's always a good sign that even though we didn't didn't get a winner there, we read the market correctly. And then kind of the same thing with Arkansas. Arkansas, which I must say, Arizona looks like a world beater. I mean, talk about watching a game where the team you're betting on, they didn't play terribly, but just the team you're going up against would not miss a single shot. I feel like every time Arizona shot the ball, it went in. They're just like unstoppable. So I don't know. Maybe Arizona's just going to win it all and no one's going to be close. But did you guys notice where that line closed? Flip it. Arkansas. I got Arkansas, what was it, plus 8.5? A lot of books closed at plus 8. So, again, beating the closing line, getting a good number, just having the team on the court not come through for us. So 2-2 with Iowa and Illinois coming through, and then even though we lost Purdue and Arkansas, CLV. So CLV, the key with CLV, and if you want to spark a debate, go on Twitter and put an opinion out about closing line value, because we have the CLV truthers out there, the flat earthers. But CLV, to me, it doesn't mean that you're guaranteed to win. But if you show me a bettor who consistently gets closing line value versus a bettor who does not, I can quickly tell you which bettor is sharper. It's the bettor getting CLV. So 3-2 plus 0.38 units, maybe better with those odds boosts. And I will mention, I had a couple people. It's kind of cool. I haven't mentioned this too much, but if you sign up to get the ASG best bet picks from Juice Reel, you go to the profile page, and if you follow the plays for $5 a week, there's a little like chat icon where you can type in questions, comments. Some people throw in questions, comments, and they're asking about the night before when I took the Yankees. What were they, minus 125, but I got them like plus 115, and someone in the chat was like, where the hell did you find plus 115? Well, it was the odds boost. So if you notice now, I'll just kind of let you know, if you see a little lightning bolt icon next to a bet on Juice Reel, that means it was a boosted price. So just wanted to mention that because it's a kind of a cool feature. But anyway, guys, without further ado, let's see if we can finish off the week on a winning note. 3 March Madness Sweet 16 games. Let's try to get 2 out of these 3 and finish up the week on a hot note. So first one on the board, and I'll just mention this, guys. I didn't bet St. John's Duke because really nothing jumped out to me. Like, I wanted to bet on St. John's because my wife is a proud graduate of St. John's, and we could watch the game together with my daughter again, but I just couldn't find an edge. It looked like it was sneaky sharp toward Duke. Ken Pom had a 7-point game. I had rhythm models on both sides. St. John's is kind of public, 65% of bets at DraftKings. So I said, I don't have a clear edge here, so I'm not going to force it. I'm not going to play it. So if you like the Johnny Boys, hope they cover. If you like Duke, I can see why you might like Duke. It's a low number, and public is all over St. John's as a trendy dog. So I just got nothing there, no part of it. So I'm just going to focus on these 3 upcoming games after St. Johnny's, Johnny Boys and Duke, and see if we can get some of these bets here to go our way. So first play for me, let's go to a 7:35 p.m. Eastern Time first tip. Alabama, Crimson Tide versus the Michigan Wolverines. Set the stage, talk splits, line movements, line movement, rhythm, juice reel, the whole shebang, and we'll see if we can hopefully cash this ticket. So going into it, we got Bama 25-9 on the year. They are the 4 seed. They just beat up Texas Tech 90-65 in the second round, dominated and easily covered as a 1.5 point neutral site favorite. Meanwhile, Michigan, again, absolute wagon all year long. They're 33-3. They're the 1 seed. Just dominated St. Louis 95-72 in the second round, easily covered as a 12.5 point neutral site favorite. So what have we seen across the market here? Well, this game opened with Michigan listed as a 10.5 point neutral site favorite. So kind of a big number here. And what's interesting to me is, does the public say, hey, this is another, Arizona, great team, kind of a big number, but who cares? Lay it because they're going to dominate and roll, in which point you'd see the line go up to, -11, -12 Michigan. Or the wise guys say, yeah, that's a big number and Bama can keep it close and maybe that number drops. Well, the public doesn't know what to do here. They're 50-50 because they've seen these great teams dominate. Again, we've had favorites do very well, still covering like 58% of the time this postseason. But public is split down the middle, 50-50 at DraftKings. So what do we always talk about when it comes to a 50-50 ticket count? If the bets are even down the middle, we're not talking money, we're talking ticket count. Because ticket count is where you find where the public is, and money, compared to the ticket count, is where you find where the sharp money's at. So public's 50-50. Half of them are taking Bama in the points. Half of them are taking Michigan minus the points. But in a 50-50 situation, you would expect a line shouldn't move at all, right? Because theoretically, in a vacuum, odds makers have balanced action. So there's really no reason to bring the line up or down because they got even action and they can just rake the juice in and it doesn't really matter who covers because they'll just take that 10 cents on a dollar. However, sometimes you're going to get a 50-50 split and yet the line does move. And that's important to me. Talk about it all the time. But if it's 50-50 and the line does move, that tells me that even though the public doesn't know what to do, sharps have taken a position and moved that number. So the 50-50 line move here is on Bama. Guys, I'm going to go Bama. I'm worried because Michigan, could win by 20 like Arizona last night. But I got to stay true to what the data is telling me. And the data is telling me that even though the tickets are split at DK, this line has fallen. Michigan minus 10.5 down to minus 9.5. The other angle here is that even though the line has fallen 10.5 to 9.5 toward Alabama, you look at the juice, and it's juiced not back toward Michigan like it's going back up to 10, but it's actually juiced toward Bama. Quite a few books are plus 9.5, minus 115, and I see a couple books even down to 9. So it's pretty clear that the line is moving toward Bama. Now, if we gravitate and move over toward in Vegas at Circa, we just, again, talked about how DraftKings is 50-50. Circa, similar 50-50. 48% of spread bets are going with Alabama, but Alabama's taking in 75% of spread dollars. So 50-50, but 75% of the money out in Vegas at a sharp book that caters to wise guys going with Alabama. So the first indicator is 50-50 line move to Bama. Second indicator is a sharp bet split at Circa. Third indicator, pop open Ken Palm, our buddy. He has Michigan winning by 8 points, 91-83. So I ask you this. If Ken Palm's got an 8-point game and you can get a 9.5, that sounds like a 1.5 point edge off the current price. Bama is also a dog who can score system match, 92 points per game. So increasing the chances they can keep pace or backdoor cover. Last night, even though Arkansas, dog who can score system match didn't come through, Illinois was a dog who can score system match and obviously won that game outright. So will Bama win outright? As Kevin Garnett once said, the great philosopher, anything's possible, but I'm just hoping they lose by 9 or less. But in addition, a couple advantages for the Crimson Tide. Better, believe it or not, they actually have the better offensive efficiency. You probably wouldn't expect that because Michigan is so good. But they are 3rd in the country versus 6th in the country for Michigan. Crimson Tide have the better free throw shooting. Could be huge in a tight game. 41st versus 95th. And the Crimson Tide commit fewer turnovers on offense. They take better care of the ball. 10th versus 164th for the Wolverines. Lastly, popped open Juice Reel and noticed that one of the Robo Jackson best bet picks tonight is on Alabama. So right there with the Robo Jackson indicator. And then also we pop open Rhythm, and I have 2 Green Star recommended plays on Alabama. One is Bama plus 7.2. One is Bama plus 7.5. So it feels like Michigan's going to just roll here, and they may. I hope they don't, but they could. But line's going toward Bama. We have a great bet split at Circa on Bama, dog who can score system match. Ken Palm's got an 8-point game. Rhythm's got about a 7 or 7.5 point game, which, again, one of those recommendations is a green star, which we had that green star on Illinois last night. And it's also a Robo Jackson best bet pick, which tells me that the AI model from Juice Reel also likes Bama in the points. So strap up, strap in. We're going up against David versus Goliath tonight. But David doesn't have to win this game. David just has to, not get killed. Keep it close. Keep that slingshot shooting the eye out of Goliath. So first bet on the board for me, guys, Alabama, plus 9.5. Now, I used an odds boost here. I jumped into FanDuel, and Bama was plus 9.5, minus 115. But they got boosted for me, plus 9.5, plus 114. So again, take advantage of these odds boosts if you can. But Bama, plus 9.5. Dear God, keep it close. Second bet of the night, absolute banger. We have Mr. Tom Izzo against Mr. Hurley here. Michigan State and Connecticut, 9:45 p.m. Eastern Time, first tip for tonight. So Michigan State comes in 27-7 on the year. They are the 3 seed. Just beat Louisville 77-69 in the second round, covered as a 5.5 point neutral site favorite. Meanwhile, UConn comes in 31-5. They are the 2 seed. Just took down UCLA 73-57 in the second round, covered as a 5.5 point neutral site favorite. So what do we see across the board here? Well, this game opened Connecticut listed as a 1 point neutral site favorite. Very, very short number here. I even saw a couple books open like Pick'em, or even one book was Michigan State minus 1. But it's very clear, regardless of the opener, that this line is going toward the Huskies. Huskies have gone from minus 1 or a pick or plus 1 dog to fave to now minus 1.5. And not only are they moving up a half point at most shops, but they are juiced up minus 1.5, minus 115 at quite a few shops. So not only is the line moving, but you're having to pay a higher price, juice liability on Connecticut. And I even see a couple books up to minus 2, or even one book's at 2.5. So this line from open to current, it's always been moving toward UConn. First indicator here that sharps like the Huskies. Now you look at DraftKings, only 55% of bets are on UConn. So it's not like UConn is getting 80% of tickets and you're with the public here. Public is basically 50-50. Very, 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 very slight lean, 55% on UConn. Once again, Circa, though, sharps out in the desert, showing a really, really wise guy split here on UConn. At Circa, Huskies are getting 56% of spread bets, 88% of spread dollars. So a massive low bets, higher dollar split from the pros in the desert. Now, you know me. I ain't going UConn minus 1.5, minus 2, minus 2.5. Again, odds makers are telling you it could basically be a very, very tight game, and we got to win this game if we win by 1 instead of lose a minus 1.5 or push a minus 2 or lose a 2.5. So I did go money line with Connecticut. Now, I got the Huskies a few days ago at minus 135. I believe you can get the Huskies around minus 125. So shop around, but really not a bad money line price here. Now, Connecticut has the better effective field goal percentage, 34th versus 66th. Better 2-point shooting percentage, so again, down low, 25th versus 97th. Huskies hold their opponents to a better effective field goal percentage. They make it harder for their opponent to score, 8th versus 53rd. And they force more turnovers on defense, 99th versus 297th. So dog to fave, or short fave to bigger fave, or pick 'em to fave, whatever you want to call it, based on the opener. But I'm going to go UConn money line. I did notice that, once again, one of the best bet picks from Juice Reel, Robo Jackson play, is also on UConn. I believe they went minus 1.5. There's also a 23% sharp mush edge at Juice Reel on UConn. So 23% more of the sharper wise guy or wise gal wagers are going with the Huskies. And I have all 3 of my rhythm models on UConn. And I have one model which is UConn minus 1.9, another model which is UConn minus 2.3. So second bet of the night, let's go UConn. Got the Huskies minus 135 on the money line. Last bet of the night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Let's talk about Tennessee and Iowa State. Now, Tennessee comes in 24-11 on the year. They are the 6th seed. Just took down Virginia 79-72 in the second round. Did cover as a 1.5 point neutral site favorite. Meanwhile, Iowa State 29-7 on the year. They are the 2 seed. Just dominated Kentucky 82-63 in the second round. Easily covered as a 5.5 point neutral site favorite. So what we've seen across the market here. Well, this game opened with Iowa State listed around a 4 point neutral site favorite. And the public says Cyclones all freaking day. Right now, 69% of spread bets at DraftKings are going with the Cyclones. What's interesting, though, is Iowa State opened around -4 at most shops. Now, that heavy betting, around 7 out of 10 tickets, did push a couple books up to -4.5. But this kind of reminds me of the Illinois game yesterday, where the line early went toward Houston, but then started to really come back down toward the contrarian dog, Illinois. And that's kind of what we're seeing here, because there are a couple books that are still -4.5 Iowa State, but a lot of those 4.5s are down to 4, and some of those books are actually down to 3.5. So it's kind of becoming a line freeze or even a quasi-reverse line move play where everyone and their mother is on Iowa State, but the line's kind of coming back down toward Tennessee. Now, even if you take away that line freeze or RLM, we have Tennessee just in an epic contrarian opportunity here, because only, 31% of spread bets at DraftKings are taking the Vols plus the points. So it's a 10-10 game, late night. It's going to be the most heavily bet based on the timing of it, because there's more time for people to bet on this game, and this is the chase game, basically late night, where if the public's doing well, they'll double down, triple down on this game, and if they're getting rolled, they'll chase and try to get it back on this game. But anyway, just a great contrarian opportunity to fade the drunk guys at the bar on a Friday night who are hammering Iowa State, and go the other way and take Tennessee as the contrarian play. Now, Ken Palm has Iowa State winning by 4 points. So here's the key, guys. Got to get the 4.5. Now, if you look across the board, this line is kind of all over the place, because there's some 4.5s, there's some 4s, there's some 3.5s. I got plus 4.5 -115. You can get that right now, it looks like, at Ballybet or the Score, Caesars, DraftKings. But Fanatics is down to 4, and BetMGM and FanDuel are down to 3.5. So definitely got to get the best number here. It would be nice if Tennessee won the game outright, but still, we got to protect ourselves. You can still get that 4.5, which is my play. Now, Tennessee has some advantages, better offensive rebound percentage, so putbacks, extra opportunities, first in the country, actually, at offensive rebound percentage versus 35th for Iowa State. Tennessee has the better free throw shooting, 281st in the country. Doesn't sound great, but believe it or not, Iowa State, as great as they are, they rank 330th in free throw percentage. Tennessee holds their opponents to a better effective field goal percentage, 34th versus 85th, and they limit their opponents to a better three-point shooting percentage. Basically, they make it harder on their opponents to make threes. They rank 19th versus 63rd. Lastly, popped open juice reel. This isn't a Robo Jackson best bet pick on Tennessee, but there is a 19% sharp mush edge on the Vols. And pop open rhythm, and all 3 of my rhythm recommendations for my 3 different models are saying take Tennessee plus the points. And rhythm has Tennessee plus 3.1. So if you can still get that 4.5, we got a Green Star Tennessee 3.1. Sounds like value to me. So I'm going Vols plus 4.5. So Alabama plus 9.5. UConn money line. Tennessee plus 4.5. Let's try to get 2 out of those 3 and finish off the week on a winning note. So that about does it for episode 479 of the All Systems Go Sports Betting Podcast, powered by Rhythm. This is the part of the pod where we wrap things up, and I always start first by saying thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for grinding in the arena with me every single day through the ups and the downs, the good and the bad, the hot streaks, the cold streaks, the incredible wins, the terrible bad beats. Again, just like in life, you got good days and bad days, but we show up every day with a positive attitude, cautious but disciplined. We know it's a hard market to beat on a daily basis, but we're searching for sharp plays every day that can cash some tickets. And I'm very honored to host this pod, and I really appreciate you guys tuning in. So if you'd like to help me grow this podcast, a couple easy things you can do to make my day. Give this podcast a 5-star review on Spotify or iTunes. Leave a nice comment if you feel so inclined under the review section. Recommend the pod to a friend. Click the follow button. That way you get a pop-up alert as soon as the pod drops each day. Or retweet the pod when I put it out on Twitter every afternoon at Josh_insights. Next, if you enjoy this style of sports betting breakdown, data-driven, sharp contrarian betting, focusing on line movement, bet split, system matches, focusing on what the numbers are saying, not what our gut and our bias is telling us. Like that St. John's game, my gut, my bias tells me I want to watch St. John's with my wife and my daughter because my wife went to St. John's. But is that a sharp reason for me to bet it? No, it's not. So we got to bet with our head and not our heart. And if you'd like to learn more about this style of betting, guess what? I've written 2 books. I'm already thinking about my 3rd one. I'm thinking about writing about either college hoops or MLB. But who knows? That'll be probably 4 or 5 years from now. But anyway, if you want to grab a copy of either of my 2 books, all you got to do is go to Amazon.com, type in the Everything Guide to Sports Betting or the NFL Sharp Betting Playbook. Grab one or both of my books. Bring them to the sports book. I'll sign them for you. I'll buy you a beer or ginger ale and we'll sweat some games together. Next, have you downloaded Rhythm and Juice Reel yet? My 2 favorite sports betting apps. They help me win. They're going to help you win. Look no further than yesterday, where we had a sharp mush edge on Iowa that came through. And we also had a really good Rhythm Green Star play on Illinois that came through. So Juice Reel, Rhythm, 2 great sports betting apps that basically are cherries on top to give you more confidence in a play or kind of talk you out of a bad pick or talk you into a good one. But if you'd like to download both of those apps, with Rhythm, you're going to get the AI-backed models and predictions for game bets and player props. With Juice Reel, so many great features. You'll be able to sync up your sports books, get a running report card of your action, as well as getting the Robo Jackson best bet pick, sharp mush indicators, arbitrage plays, shop for the best line futures, and of course, as I mentioned before, if you want to support the pod, it's free. Tip your bartender, tip your podcast host in the form of signing up for those $4.99 a week best bets on Juice Reel. So download Rhythm, download Juice Reel, give them both a 5-star review in the App Store. Next, do you have a live odds page? Well, if you don't, you need one. You got to be able to track the market in real time. The market is constantly moving and evolving and changing. You got to know the up-to-date numbers. You also got to be able to compare the open line to the current line, see which direction the line has moved, pull up the line history, always shop for the best price, find the book still giving you Tennessee plus 4.5 when every other book is 4 or 3.5. But the best live odds page around is called Odds Logic. So if you'd like to give it a shot, you can go to this special link. It'll give you a 7-day free trial to test it out, make sure you like it. It's also going to give you 25% off your first month. And that link is oddslogic.com/Josh123. Lastly, have you heard about ProfitX? I have teamed up with ProfitX. I am now a proud affiliate of ProfitX. ProfitX is a sports betting exchange. And the beauty of a sports betting exchange is that you're going to get better prices, better juice, because you're going up against other bettors and not the greedy sports books who will gouge us with minus 110, minus 120s. Also, if you win, you won't get limited. And if you find these good numbers, you can basically win at a lower rate than you would at a sports book, but still make money because you're paying less juice. So if you'd like to give ProfitX a shot, all you got to do is download the ProfitX app. And when you fund your account, put in the promo code JOSH, J-O-S-H, and they'll tack on a 20% deposit match based on whatever you put in. So if you put in $100, they're going to add on 20 extra bucks. You can, again, download ProfitX and hopefully turn a profit. So that about does it for episode 479 of the ASG Pod on a big Friday. As always, guys, reminder, whether I see you at the Borgata in Atlantic City, Twin River in Rhode Island, the Brook in New Hampshire, Foxwoods or Mohegan Sun down in Connecticut, at the Encore in Boston, Plain Ridge Park Casino, MGM Springfield, or the Nash in my neck of the woods on the border of Massachusetts and New Hampshire, or out in the desert where the true grinders get down, where Billy Walters sends his number runners, where the lowest juice possible is found at the South Point, or Sweatin' Sharp Contrarian plays, jumping in the stadium swim pool when you cash a big ticket at Circa. You're going to walk up to me. You're going to show me a Red Sox ticket, an Illinois ticket, and an Iowa ticket. First one's on me, next one's on you. We'll post about the book. Sweat Sharp Contrarian plays all night long. So as always, guys, coming off a 3-2 or a 2-3, a 5-0 or an 0-5, a 3-1, a 4-1 or a 1-4. Whether we're coming off a winning night, a losing night, a great night, a terrible night, a hot streak, a cold streak. Again, we just got to stick to the model, stick to the blueprint, discipline with our bankroll management, flat betting, and if we can just basically get down on the games that check off our boxes and avoid the games that don't, which you might know by now, means that we're looking for games that are against the public, with the house, with the pros, flat bet, and avoid parlays. If we can do that, we're going to be successful sports bettors. So hope everyone has a great Friday and an even better weekend. Reminder, over the weekend, look out for the Sharp Report that I write for vsin.com. You can always follow me on Twitter at Josh_insights. That's where I always post it. And you can also, again, get those ASG best bet picks on Juice Reel for $5 a week. But hope everyone has a great Friday. Have a fantastic weekend, and then we'll be right back at it on Monday. That'll be episode 480 of the All Systems Go Sports Betting Podcast, powered by Rhythm. Good luck, everybody, and I'll see you on Monday. Good luck.